Hey, what's up and how's it going, MRBers? I'm so glad that you have took your time to spend with me right here today on the Make Rock and Bolt Wrestling Review Show. I'm your co-host, Mike McRock Wilson, and now I will give you my review and the results of last night's episode of WWE Monday Night Raw. Alright, so the first thing that happened last night on Monday Night Raw is we opened with CM Punk. He came out, he delivered a promo. He said that he has tried to figure out for 1 week why the Shield did what they did to him, attack him from what happened we saw last week on the show. He then says deep down he knows the reason. And it's because CM Punk poked fun of Triple H, and the coincidence factor comes into play where Triple H probably told the Shield to attack CM Punk from out of nowhere, which leads to this matchup coming at TLC, which I'll get to in just a bit. Stephanie McMahon came out and said that, pretty much, name calling like what CM Punk did to Triple H is beneath them. They are the authority figures and they are the higher power, and what they say goes. And if CM Punk don't like it, you could take it up with the director of operations, Kane. Now, what's interesting about this week's episode is that finally we got to see Kane not feel like, well, he's just there. He actually came out and actually spoke on the microphone with this real corporate voice, which was like, what the heck am I watching? That's what it felt like. And I like how, the WWE, turns a 180, with the big turn with Kane, and now he comes out with the suit on. He has his corporate voice. This stuff I actually like about this new corporate Kane, because it feels like, okay, he's another authority figure that's going to go on a power trip. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's too many authority figures on power trips. We have Triple H, we have Stephanie McMahon, and now we have corporate Kane. I think that the WWE needs only one or two, a main one and a sub person as the authority, like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. It just feels weird for Kane to be involved in this, because he was the guy that was consistent throughout his career. Now they have to do this twist with Kane, which is all well and good, because, sometimes a character needs a refresher. It's just that Kane has been the big red monster for so long, it's just weird seeing him as the corporate Kane. With that said, he makes a match between CM Punk and all three members of the Shield in a 3-on-1 handicap match at TLC. And later on we see Kane backstage with Bryan, and makes a handicap match as well, which I will get to in a bit. And it just feels like now there's these handicap matches have been thrown in, and it just don't feel right, because it feels like in these matches they're going to bury Daniel Bryan, they're going to bury CM Punk for all the three guys to go over, so that the other guy, your hero, in CM Punk or Daniel Bryan, don't look credible going into this match. The way I would book it is put a Gauntlet style stipulation where it's one-on-one and another guy comes in and another guy comes in. For example, CM Punk versus the Shield in a Gauntlet match, I would have first one-on-one CM Punk versus Dean Ambrose. Have them go at it, put on a good match. And then CM Punk again goes in with Seth Rollins, has a good match. Roman Reigns comes in and picks up the scratch and goes over CM Punk. And the good thing about that idea is that you're not burying CM Punk to the fullest. At least have him go in doing double duty in 2 good matches, and then have the other guy come in and pick up the scraps in Roman Reigns, something along those lines, to make the Shield look good without, burying them as well. So it's a weird situation for the WWE to book this kind of match, 3-on-1, one fall to the finish. It just feels really weird. Moving on. Number 1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. We got to see Damien Sandow versus Dolph Ziggler. Winner becomes number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, and hopefully something good happens out of this. So what happened was that Damien Sandow went over Dolph Ziggler. I thought it was a good match. Like I said, the one thing I like to see happen is that having the Intercontinental Championship being involved in a storyline where it benefits both Damien Sandow and Big E Langston. I like that Damien Sandow is now being pushed to the mid-card championship, the Intercontinental Champion, after falling short from cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase and losing to John Cena, and now putting him into the Intercontinental Championship picture. I think it's smart on the part of the WWE to do that as opposed to giving it to Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler would be stuck for a very long time if given the opportunity to face the Intercontinental Champion and being the guy in that position. So I like that they gave Damien Sandow the win, and I also like that Damien Sandow is using the full Nelson Slam and as a finisher to make it more credible, because usually a move like that is something you'd see almost closing to a match. So I like that someone is using that move as a finisher. I like that kind of thing. And so with all that being said, I like how that they're pushing Damien Sandow into the Intercontinental Championship picture. Hopefully something good comes out of this. I'd like to see a situation where Damien Sandow cheats a victory or loses via disqualification or a countout, something like that, to have the rivalry continue, instead of being a guy who comes in an Intercontinental Championship only to lose to Big E Langston, thus not giving the Intercontinental Championship any prestige. So I would like to see something good that helps both Big E Langston, Damien Sandow, and the Intercontinental Championship as well. Hopefully it's a win-win situation instead of a complete one-sided affair. Also, we saw a 6-Diva Tag Team match. It was AJ Lee, Tamina, and Summer Rae versus Natalya and the Bella Twins. I like the little things, AJ skipping around the ring, not even being involved in the match. The AJ Lee, the AJ's crazy chants, that stuff I like. The one thing I don't like about this match is that the WWE seems to be pro Total Divas. You don't need Total Divas involved in a match where you have a champion and a challenger to being put in a championship match for the Divas Championship. It just feels like the WWE is giving the Total Divas the center of attention, where the Divas title is just secondary to the Total Divas. I really don't like it, because the champion, you're on the WWE program, you're not on a reality show. That's the reason why I think the Divas title should be first and the Total Divas second. But it just seems like that the WWE is giving these divas that are on this reality show and putting them in matches where they don't need to be in this match. And that was the case last night on Monday Night Raw. I would rather see some sort of feud built with Natalya and AJ Lee going into the next pay-per-view instead of having Natalya pin AJ in this match. Thus, she's the number one contender for quite some time, and now they're building it up to this. It's just the lack of build-up they're building up to this match. What sucks about this one-on-one confrontation going into TLC? That's the only thing I don't like about this. Giving the Total Divas time on the show in mix with the Divas Championship. And it just feels like they also buried their championship for the second or third week in a row. And with that being said, it does not make AJ Lee look credible going into TLC. Like I said, I would rather see a feud built between Natalya and AJ Lee. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to see Natalya win. I'd like to see Natalya become the Divas Champion. It's just the way that the WWE has been booking their matches with the Divas division is lackluster, to say the very least. Also on the show, we saw a couple of segments between Bad News Barrett. I feel like going on a rant right now. How many times does the WWE need to reboot this guy when he's already great? He's 275 pounds, he's 6 feet something, he's English, he's very well spoken, and the WWE doesn't know what to do with him? How pathetic is that on the part of WWE Creative? I got no more words. The Bad News Barrett thing was just pointless. All it was 2 minutes of bashing on the WWE fans, the universe, whatever the WWE likes to sugarcoat it. So it just never really done anything for me at all. It was just pointless. It was not needed, not necessary. How many times the WWE needs to reboot Wade Barrett is just absolutely ridiculous. Moving on. We saw Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan. I like that Daniel Bryan goes into the ring with big guys because of that mountain to climb aspect. And he actually brings out the best out of these bigger guys like Luke Harper, Big Show, and Eric Rowan. I like that, some of these guys actually look good with Daniel Bryan. Some guys are questionable, like Mark Henry, like the Big Show, but the more I think about it, I like Daniel Bryan be put in situations where is he going to get out of it? That question mark. Facing bigger guys like the Wyatt family. I like situations like that. And I like that the announcers and Bray Wyatt mentioning about Daniel Bryan possibly joining the Wyatt family. I could see something out of where... remember the storyline where John Cena with the Nexus, where, okay, is John Cena going to join the Nexus? No, never happened. I could see that situation again with Daniel Bryan and the Wyatt family, where even though it's a good storyline, I like how they're planting the seeds of doubt of Daniel Bryan joining the Wyatt family. Even though it's a good storyline, the likelihood of Daniel Bryan joining the Wyatt family is not going to happen, because Daniel Bryan goes over very well with the fans as your hero, as a babyface. So with that being said, the more I think about it, the more I will get to something later on in this review about a possible Royal Rumble winner. And throughout that entire thing, after the match, after Daniel Bryan got the roll-up victory over Eric Rowan, we saw Bray Wyatt cut a really good promo. I like that how he mentioned I like how he mentioned that you have the monster inside you, Daniel Bryan. Let's see it. Let's have it. And and other things in the like. And I like how he also mentioned how how Daniel Bryan has been put in this gimmick where he's been treated as a joke with his beard and his goat, which is so true because even JBL always mentions the flying goat, stuff like that. Oh, which just bothers me that, WWE has to put Daniel Bryan in a clown-like circus-freak gimmick where he's a goat. Just establish him as a great wrestler and not have to deal with his facial features and his beard. It's just ridiculous on the part of WWE, and I love how Bray Wyatt mentioned that in his promo. So true. Absolutely. The only thing I don't like is the inconsistencies in the storytelling because of what happened last week. We saw Wyatt family attack Daniel Bryan and drag him out. He comes out on Raw. Entrance, yes. Inconsistency storytelling. I do not like it. I would rather see Daniel Bryan struggle to come out and try to try to get in the ring and try to face Eric Rowan. All these other things, stuff like that. I think it's WWE creative kind of just don't have the I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it just feels like WWE creative has been lazy. It just seems like, okay, the fans are not going to remember what happened last week, so let's just give them this show this week. No, that's not the case at all. The WWE smart fans are very, very, very familiar and remember stuff that happened a long time ago. And I think that WWE needs to realize that. Daniel Bryan coming out all happy and joy, yes, before his match. Not the greatest thing the WWE has ever done. And they didn't capitalize on what could have been a good opportunity to book Daniel Bryan as a guy struggling to the ring instead of being 100%, have him going into the ring 25% and have him come out victorious somehow miraculously. That's how I would have booked that match. That's the only issue I had going into that match. Moving on. R-Truth and Xavier Woods versus Brodus Clay and Sweet Tea Tons of Funk. And the only issue I have is that they put Xavier Woods in this situation now where, okay, R-Truth and Xavier Woods are the new likable and danceable, fun-loving tag team. And you already have that with Tons of Funk. And I think that they need to do something now with Brodus Clay, have him turn heel. Maybe Tensai will as well, I don't know, but there seems like they're teasing some things with Brodus Clay that could lead up to a heel turn, which should have happened a long time ago when his movie came out. So no more words for that thing. Moving on, Alberto Del Rio versus Sin Cara for the I don't know how many time. Here's the thing. Sin Cara comes back for what, the 100th time now. Who's the go-to guy? You have him face Alberto Del Rio, probably because they're both Hispanic. That's probably the WWE logical thing to do, and I'm surprised that Sin Cara actually won that match. It was a very short match. Here's the issue I have. Sin Cara should have been fired. If I was the head of WWE Talent Relations and Sin Cara not living up to the wellness policy, injury after injury after injury, coming back for the 2000th time, which feels like it is the 2000th time Sin Cara has come back, I would have fired him a long time ago. That's the issue I have. The blue lighting. Another thing was an issue I had in that match. There's just no need for it. And even though Sin Cara looked good in that match, it was just a situation where it was just not necessary for Sin Cara to come back and have him go over Alberto Del Rio, because he's not Sin Cara. If you notice the big tattoo, that's Hunico under that Sin Cara mask. So I just don't understand the logic that WWE has been giving us, the audience, that they're putting on the show. I don't know. No words. Moving on. This wasn't really the best Raw, so I'll just move on. Big Show, Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus The Shield. I like that moment where Goldust pulled off that Hurricanrana. That was good. I thought that was a decent match. It was a good 2-segmented part match where The Shield goes over the good guys. The Tag Team Champs really didn't need to win that. Putting Big Show in that situation, I think, was a little off. And right now, it just feels like the WWE just doesn't care about the Big Show right now. Let's just put him in a 6-man tag team match where just don't help his career. They could have went somewhere with this whole Big Show and Triple H feud, which just feels like has been dropped because the WWE just don't care about the Big Show at this point in time, leading up to TLC. There could have been a good match between him and Triple H based upon the character build-up of the Big Show, and now it's just been dropped. You get the idea. Moving on. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. CM Punk singing my honorable win on the show. That was pretty much the only thing that saved last night's Monday Night Raw. During his segment with Renee Young, he accepts the challenge to the Shield, and again, I'm not looking forward to this match. I would rather see a gauntlet match where he faces a Shield member one-on-one until all three of them are out, something like that. But other than that, not looking forward to it. As much as the Daniel Bryan versus all three members of the Wyatt family, again, not looking forward to it. The way I would have booked Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatt family is have Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan, where Daniel Bryan gets a quick roll-up, have Luke Harper come out, dominate Daniel Bryan, and then Bray Wyatt comes out and picks up the scraps. That's how I would have booked that, as a 3-on-1 gauntlet match. But no, WWE has to book it as a 3-on-1 handicap match where the most likelihood of the babyface being buried. That's the fear I have going into TLC. So again, it's another pay-per-view that just feels like another throwaway. Also, we saw Curtis Axel and Ryback versus The Miz and Kofi Kingston. That was a big throwaway match. Curtis Axel and Ryback got the victory, and it just feels like Ryback and Curtis Axel have these big, huge clouds over them. They're not going anywhere right now because Paul Heyman has dropped them as Paul Heyman guys. So, let me put it to you this way. There's a lot of superstars right now that the WWE just don't know what to do with. For example, Curtis Axel, Ryback, Wade Barrett, anyone else I never mentioned. Anyway, even Dolph Ziggler. He should be in the world title in a main event picture, and it just baffles my mind of what the WWE is doing with their superstars. Honest to God. At least they're doing a couple of good things with their future talent like Damian Sandow and Roman Reigns, and even the other two members of the Shield as well. And of course with the Wyatt family as well. Going back to that tag team match, after that tag team match, we saw The Miz slap Kofi Kingston again. WWE Logic. They turned Miz heel a couple of weeks ago in that tag team match, and again, it does not go anywhere. I don't know if they're holding it off because there's this movie with The Miz out now, this Christmas movie, so maybe after that he'll turn fully heel. I can understand that, but it just doesn't... The WWE is not capitalizing on this heel turn anyway. Some may argue that The Miz sucks as a heel, The Miz sucks as a babyface, but the way I see it is that when the WWE turns someone heel, they should capitalize it. They have not done that with The Miz. That's the thing I don't like about the WWE, is not capitalizing on things that should have happened. Going back to Triple H and The Big Show. Also, we saw Mark Henry versus Fandango. That was a complete throwaway match. Mark Henry doing some Junkyard Dog impersonations. Mark Henry gets the victory. Mark Henry does a little dancing, the in front of Summer Rae, getting her going, stuff like that. Headbutts like Junkyard Dog. Goes over Fandango. Throwaway match. And throughout that show, we saw 5 tag team matches. It was just another Raw where it was just tag team mania. Case in point, Antonio Cesaro versus Jack Swagger versus the Primetime Players. I'm not saying that this match was not good. I thought this match was actually a decent match as well. It's just that WWE, as of late, for the past few weeks, has been booking tag team matches galore. And I think that's the drawback. You can't have too much of a good thing. And the WWE has been giving us too much of a good thing, booking a lot of tag team matches. Just have a couple, 2 or 3, and have one-on-one matches with these tag team wrestlers as well. That's how I would have done it. You don't have to have 5 or 6 tag team matches on a show. You can have one-on-one matches that involve tag teams. Case in point, you can have Antonio Cesaro versus Titus O'Neil, something like that, or have one half of the Uso face a Shield member, something like that. But putting 5 or 6 tag team matches on the show is kind of a bit of an overkill, and for that reason, that's one of the reasons why this Raw kind of did suck as well. I think it was a little bit better than last week's, but not by much at all. Right now, I'm going to get into the last thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, which was the contract signing between Randy Orton and John Cena. I like when John Cena gets serious on the microphone. When he gets serious, he's untouchable. There was no rebuttal for Randy Orton, which kind of sucked. And with that said, it feels like the WWE does not want to give Randy Orton that major props that he needs. What I think that the WWE should be doing is that Randy Orton should feel like a guy that is a top superstar, and they're not. Even though he is a top superstar, the WWE is not booking him right now going into TLC as a top credible threat. This is just a one-sided affair where John Cena will get the victory over Randy Orton. It don't have to be a TLC, but it's excuse me. But at some point down the line, it's going to be all pro John Cena, which kind of sucks. I would like to see Randy Orton the surprisingly win at TLC, thus one champion, Randy Orton. But the likelihood of that happening is just not happening. It's just not going to happen because the WWE is pro John Cena. He's the face of the company. And the WWE seems like they're not giving Randy Orton that props where he looks good going into a pay-per-view. What I think might happen is that Randy Orton will grab the world title and John Cena grabs the WWE title. I don't know about that. I would like to see, personally, one winner out of TLC. But you see, here's the thing. TLC is not the event, in my opinion, that we're going to have one winner. In all likelihood, the Royal Rumble, the pay-per-view after that, will probably be the show where we will get that one winner. Like I said, Randy Orton is the guy that I think should win that match just because John Cena is the face of the company. And they're all pro John Cena, Super Cena. And what I like is the idea of the unification match. It's just the people involved. How many times are we going to see Randy Orton versus John Cena even after this match? I have no idea, because WWE is just not cutting out for me right now in terms of creative storyline, other things like building up superstars, etc., etc. They're just not cutting out. I'm losing hope. And people might say, wait, just wait. How long do I have to wait for something good to happen? This Raw was nothing special. There were a couple of decent moments, but overall, it was lackluster. And there you have it. That was my review of last night's show. Wow, over 30 minutes. Well, what did you think of Monday Night Raw? Comment below, let me know. And to all you MRBers watching, subscribe to MRB Wrestling Reviews on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Get plenty of rest and always do your best.